All the way from Shenzhen, we're about to unpack something new and exciting. What I have with me today is the brand new 3-axis gimbal stabilizer from DJI, the Ronin SC. Now the Ronin SC is mainly targeted towards people who use mirrorless cameras such as the Sony a7 or the Canon EOS R. The main difference between the SC and the Ronin S is that the Ronin SC is 40% lighter and also smaller. In addition, the Ronin S takes a larger payload of 3.2 kilograms as opposed to the Ronin SC, which is rated between 1.5 to 2 kilos. To start off, I'm going to list what you get in the box for the Ronin SC kit. First off, you get a mechanical follow focus with all the necessary attachments so you can attach it onto the Ronin SC. Secondly, you get your standard array of USB cables as well as tools and screws. However, unlike the Ronin S, the Ronin SC does not come with a mini case to house all of these bits and bobs in. So what we recommend is to carry around a small case or a travel wallet so you can keep everything in the one place. Thirdly, you do get your standard tripod plate. However, unlike the Ronin S plate, it is not a Manfrotto 500 standard plate. So if you do decide to mount your Ronin SC plate onto a Manfrotto fluid head, it will not go on. So you'll have to swap your plate out. In addition, it does come with a riser, so if you are using wider lenses and it can't sit on the Ronin SC properly, the riser will give it that necessary clearance for it to balance on your gimbal properly. And finally, you do get a foam mount that attaches to the side of the Ronin SC, so you can quickly access your phone when you're looking at the features on the app in the Ronin SC. And of course, not to forget, you get the Ronin SC in the box, which has a little tabletop tripod, which mounts at the bottom of the Ronin SC. You get your grip/battery, which is similar to the Ronin S. And then you have your top gimbal attachment as well. Now I'm going to talk about the design of the Ronin SC, starting from the bottom of the gimbal. So as I mentioned earlier, you have a handheld tripod, which you can attach to the bottom of the Ronin SC. And that's because the Ronin SC has two mounting screw sizes. You've got a 1/4 inch as well as a 3/8 connection that you can mount the Ronin SC onto a tripod if you want to. Now moving up, there is a battery indicator that is similar to the Ronin S and a grip that is familiar as well. Now with the Ronin SC, it is a similar construction to the Ronin S, so it does have a locking mechanism which you can unlock, so you can slide the Ronin SC off and then you can mount it back on, lock it up, and you're ready to go. This also helps with pack down as well, because you can pack it up nice and neat and compact. It doesn't always have to be the one single unit packed into a box. Now this does come up with a trade-off, which is the same issue I had with the Ronin S, and that's to charge the actual unit. So you still have to have the top gimbal unit attached to the grip for you to access the USB-C port at the front of the gimbal to charge the whole unit. In terms of charging time, we found the charging time on the Ronin SC to be really quick. So we had it flat and plugged it into our USB-C connection into the wall, and it fully charged the battery in approximately 2.5 to 3 hours, which is super cool. In terms of its actual battery life, you get 10 hours of usage, so you won't have to worry on a full day of shooting that the gimbal is going to die on you. In addition, the Ronin SC does have a trigger at the front of the gimbal, which allows you to double tap to recenter and triple tap to do 180 rotation. And then on the left-hand side of the Ronin SC, you do have your follow focus dial, which when you connect your camera to the USB port at the top, will give you access controls to your focus, but this varies from brand to brand. Now, if you can't use this direct follow focus, it does come with a mechanical follow focus, as I mentioned earlier, which you can attach onto any lens and utilize it that way. Furthermore, behind the follow focus wheel, there are two bolts for you to attach the phone mount. and this gives you access to your phone really easily. At the top of the gimbal, you have your standard locking mechanisms so that you can lock the gimbal into place, so when you're traveling around, the gimbal doesn't move around, which will inevitably damage the motors, so it's good that they've implemented this feature into the gimbal. At the top of the gimbal, you do have an offset motor so you can view your camera's screen when recording, which reduces the need for an external monitor. In terms of how they've laid out the actual adjustments on the gimbal, it's nice and easy to read, so if you do need to recalibrate and rebalance your gimbal, you'll know where you'll need to place it for fast balancing. On the topic of balancing, to mount your tripod plate on and take it off, there is a knob at the bottom which allows you to loosen up the teeth so you can easily attach your plate on. The only problem is this same knob also controls the balancing and adjustment of this axis. So if you accidentally knock your camera or knock the gimbal whilst you're chucking the plate on, it will fall out of place and you'll need to rebalance. They have implemented some teeth on the inside of this axis, so it is a lot harder to move, but I can imagine it being a problem if you do give it enough force. Now, one of the coolest things about the plate though, it does have a stopper at the front. So you'll know where to put your plate every time and you won't really need to play around with where to sit the plate on the gimbal for it to balance properly. As you'll know, you'll just need to place it at the stopper and you're ready to go. At the back of the gimbal, just like the Ronin S, you have a large joystick which will allow you to control the panning and the tilting of the gimbal motor, and you also have your mode dial to change between your pan and follow modes. In addition to that, when your camera is connected via USB cable, you can utilize the record button to stop and start recording. When using your phone connected to the Ronin SE, you get access to features such as virtual joystick, active track, force mobile, panorama, time-lapse, motion lapse, and motion control. Virtual joystick basically enables a remote control that allows you to basically adjust the tilt and the panning of the gimbal without touching the joystick on your Ronin SE. Active track will allow you to draw a specific area so that it will follow a person or subject wherever it moves. Thirdly, Force Mobile will enable you to control the gimbal's motions by using your phone's gyroscope. So if you do have a second person on site that's looking to shoot with you, you can be holding the gimbal whilst your assistant will be able to control how the gimbal moves just by simply moving your phone left, right, up and down, and the gimbal will mimic those movements. And finally, just like the Ronin S, you have a vast array of calibration functions such as auto tune to help make your gimbal perform at its best. In conclusion, the DJI Ronin SE is a super powerful gimbal for those who have a small mirrorless camera kit. Now, if you do have a larger or heavier mirrorless kit or use a DSLR setup, the Ronin SE is probably not the gimbal for you, and it's probably better to go for the Ronin S. However, if you are a person that does use a mirrorless kit and are looking for a lighter gimbal to have with you on your travels or for professional use, alternatively, have a second gimbal that is just used for particularly traveling, then the Ronin SE is a great gimbal that fits that bill. In terms of performance, it is fantastic as you would expect from DJI. The stabilization is awesome. The features that you get, as well as the usability and the UI of the phone app, makes the Ronin SE one of the most attractive gimbal options for you out there on the market. If you have any questions on the DJI Ronin SE, pop them in the comments below. Make sure to follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, as well as our written blog, which links to those are in our description below. If you've just bought a new camera or some new piece of gear that you don't really know how to use, we do have a series called Camera Basics, which links to that playlist is in our description as well. And as always, if you enjoyed our video, hit the like button and the subscribe button so you don't miss out on our future updates as we upload videos weekly.